Kapadia and the Mathur families, and one more soldier in Baba's army has been born today. Another announcement is regarding the Glow magazine. As far as the Bombay Center is concerned, our numbers are going up and up, and which is a very proud thing, because we need the support of everyone concerned to keep this magazine going. Folks, I don't want to get into too many details, but one really doesn't know how much amount of effort that goes into keeping this magazine afloat, just because it was Meher Baba's wish and a mandate given to Noshiban Narawala to keep it going. So those of you who have not subscribed, kindly do so in a hurry. And a final, more than an announcement, it's a correction. Today's message that was sent out read the lady's name as Kashmira, but she is Karishma. So now her father and herself will be talking to us. Then Jimmy will be leading the talk. So Jimmy Khan, please take over. Thank you. Jai Baba.
Jai Meher Baba, everyone. Welcome to one and all. We have, as Sam said, we have Neville and Karishma Gandhi. The name is Karishma and not Kashmira. We'll come to that a little later, how and why Kashmira, but I mean Karishma, but that's a little later. We will talk to Neville first, and then we'll move on to Karishma. Neville, are you on?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Neville, very briefly, maybe in 3, 4, 5 lines, will you introduce yourself?
Yes, definitely, Jimmy Uncle. So, Jai Baba, everyone. My name is Neville Gandhi. I am married to Jasmine. Her maiden surname was Gadiali, and she is related to Nariman uncle. My daughter, I have one child, lovely daughter by the name of Karishma. We get to how her name came to, which is, if we were to equate it with the Parsi name, it would have been Kashmira. And why is Karishma? A slight modification, but she will tell her own story. I work for a multinational organization called Siemens. I work in the compliance organization. My wife, Jasmine, is a school teacher in the senior section. My daughter, Karishma, has completed her graduation, and she is right now pursuing her chartered accountancy course. So that's in brief my family. I also have a mother. My dad expired in 2008. And I shall also talk about Baba's guidance given during his tenure in life and his demise. So I am on, Jimmy Uncle.
Okay, yeah. Neville, when is it that for the very first time the name Meher Baba fell on your ears?
Yeah, very easy. Quite late in life.
One sec, Neville, hold on. Yeah. Sam, can we have Neville on the screen when he talks? Because then he's talking on blank wall.
You will have to ask Rakesh about it.
Sorry.
I can't do anything.
Okay, now Rakesh can take over. Rakesh?
Yes, he'll be on screen. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Rakesh.
Okay.
Okay, Neville, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, definitely. Quite late in life, if we were to equate with others. It was just before marriage when I was introduced by my then girlfriend, now my wife, to Nariman Mehta, who is related to them. And she had taken me to his house at Lalbagh. They also stay at Lalbagh, so it's very close by. So when I entered their flat, I was sitting on a sofa, and bang opposite was photograph of Baba in flowing mane. He has that flowing mane. And Nariman uncle started talking about Baba, and I thought mentally, here we go again, one more. Actually, this was how it was for me. And I averted my eyes from the photograph because in the beginning I was quite bored. But I don't know, something drew my attention time and again to his photograph. It would have been multiple times I would have been drawn to his photograph, frame photograph, his smiling, that mischievous smile of his. And then I forgot about it. He disappeared from my life in the beginning. Slowly, when the people started talking about him, we started going to the center on Saturdays or Sundays, whenever it was comfortable for us to go, not when we were compelled to go. But in hindsight, it was Baba slowly drawing us step by step, maybe baby steps, but step by step. The real pull came during Karishma's childbirth. And let Karishma talk about that whenever, right now, or she comes in between. I leave it to you. From there takes the story, which is different from a family, how Baba gathered us in his fold. And from there till date, we are in his fold, happily walking along the path which he has shown us, stumbling, falling down, getting up, trying to walk again. But he never lets us down. Till Karishma comes to her story, I will then skip time zones and come to how Baba showed his presence at various aspects in our life. So I will straight away jump to Karishma's Navjot ceremony. I was praying to Baba and mentally wishing that Baba be present during Karishma's Navjot. And I used to read Nana Umriga's books where the presence of the divine souls are felt through butterflies. So I thought maybe his presence would be felt through butterflies. So during the entire Navjot, the ceremony which took place at Albles Bagh, I was trying to search for a butterfly which would be floating around. This was my ignorance. Mentally, Baba had told me, as a thought process, look out for me and I will be there. So I was searching for him at the wrong places. We didn't see anything. So after the Navjot, we went to the Atash Behram, and the car took my family inside the Atash Behram. I got down at the main gate to buy sukhar. And as I came out from the shop and I started walking down towards the Atash Behram, there is a small gate surrounding those two compounds. So I was jumping across that Vickers gate and then coming into the Atash Behram compound. A sudden gust of wind came in from nowhere. And since I was the only person walking towards the Atash Behram, and there were two lady servants and one man servant sitting near the edge of the main gate, and nobody was there. So there was this gust of wind and pieces of paper started rolling. There was one piece of paper which kept rolling right across, came absolutely at my feet, turned upside down, and there was Baba's photograph. I will show it on the screen. Is it visible to all? Is this visible?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is the photograph of Mr. Dara Katrak, who was the ex-president of the Bombay Center. And this was a tribute being paid to Mr. Dara Katrak, which had appeared in the Jame Jamshed newspaper. And this cutting somehow was cut out from the newspaper and it was thrown out as a rubbish. And this paper flew across and landed at my feet. And there was Baba. That was the presence shown to our family, that I am there with you. He comes in various forms, in various formats, and in various ways. We say mysterious are his ways. This is a mystery till date. And I hurriedly took this piece of paper, tucked it in my dugli at that time, which I was wearing, and rushed into the Atasberam to talk about it and show it to my family. So my parents, my aunt, my wife, and daughter were all gathered, and I was showing this piece of paper. When suddenly a gentleman walked in from nowhere. He was not doing his kasti over there, nor did he walk out from the Atasberam. Till date, I don't know where he came from. That's a mystery to us. And he was wearing a suit, and he was wearing a black cap, the Parsi cap, and he was having a cane in his hands. And he came across to us in our midst and said, "What are you talking about?" So we also showed him the photograph, and we started talking about Meher Baba. He started asking very intelligent questions about Meher Baba. How do you know him? From where did he come? Why do you call him as the avatar? And we started talking about him, and then he disappeared. My family walked into the Atasberam. I walked into the Atasberam and suddenly realized I had forgotten to do my kasti. So I again came out. And then this gentleman was no more. He had disappeared completely. Neither in the Atasberam nor because of his age, he could have walked across to the main gate. And there was no car around. How did he come in? From where did he come in? Where did he disappear? Is a mystery to me. Was it Baba? Was it a figment of our imagination? We don't know. We don't have an answer. But we consider him to be Baba's presence at that particular point of time because he goaded and instigated us to talk about Meher Baba at that particular point of time. So this was our experience of how Baba came, blessed us with his presence during our Navjot. Because our daughter was special to us and he made it a very special occasion.
Neville, may I stop you here for 1 second?
Yes, please.
You said that Jasmine took you to Nariman's house, correct?
Yes.
But you didn't tell us there's a missing link in the sense, was Jasmine and her family, were they also Baba lovers?
No. They had heard about him from Nariman uncle, but Baba lover, no.
Okay, go ahead with your life story.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Jasmine is also there. She will also then pitch in about how.
Lovely. So let's leave it to her, that part. Okay.
Okay, so this is one experience of ours. Then another experience of mine which happened was when I was traveling on a company visit to Bangalore. And I was talking, I have a habit of reading about Baba during flight. So it gives me peace of mind. It also whiles away my time. So while I was reading, suddenly a thought came across that you will be speaking about me. Yeah, okay, fine. This just came as a thought. And I was also re-questioning Baba's thought. How is it possible? Because the persons whom I was going to meet them for the first time in my life. There was a team, a multinational team of auditors, which had come in from various parts of the world for an audit. And I was going there to receive them. How am I going to talk about Baba over there? So I dismissed it out of my mind. From Bangalore, we were going to Mysore. So during the bus ride, I was reading about Baba's article. When my colleague from Bangalore office slided across into my seat, then asked me, what were you reading about? And I said about Meher Baba. Then I asked him, are you aware of who Meher Baba is? And he said, of course, definitely. I am a Sai Bhakt. So Saiji was one of the 5 perfect masters, and he was the master of Meher Baba, and I know a lot about Meher Baba. And we started discussing about Meher Baba. It didn't strike me at that point of time that Baba had said, you will start talking about me. Ahead of me was a German sitting, and he overheard snatches of our talk. So he turned around and he said, what are you guys talking about? So I said, I'm talking about Avatar Meher Baba. He is one of the 5 avatars. And he said, what is an avatar? And we started talking about who are the avatars. And out came the name of Jesus Christ. And he said, yeah, I can now talk about Jesus. The entire trip from Bangalore to Mysore, we didn't know when it got over. The 3 of us were completely immersed in talks about Baba, Jesus Christ, Saiji. The 3 of us stuck together for 3 days. We were there for 3 days in a Bangalore-Mysore trip. The rest of the team was at one end. We were at one end, totally discussing about Meher Baba and our journey, respective life's journey. And at night, it struck me when I recollected that you will talk about me. And it did happen the way he had wished. After that, I have not met any one of those two guys. One resigned from the company, left for better pastures somewhere else. The other guy came from a different country. I have not been to that country, nor he has been to India again. And this happened in 2006. 14 years have lapsed. This was how it happened. One more experience I can share of Baba. I was in London for an audit. And before going to London, I had Googled and found about where Baba's center was at London. And I had a friend of mine who was on deputation over there. And I was talking to him about Mayor Baba and my desire to go to that London center. So he said, let's go on a Sunday. So we Googled at the timings and we left in the morning. We reached the station. And from there, how? No way did we know. And the station where we reached, it's like Sat Rasta. 7 roads to 6 to 7 roads branch out. Which road are we supposed to take? Which would take us to the center. We asked people had never heard about him, never heard about the place also. Suddenly, a black Hummer, their local taxi, came across and stopped in front of us. And I casually asked the driver, are you aware of this? He said, yes, take this particular direction. After saying that, he again started his car and he went out. As if it was Baba sending the car to help us in picking up which direction to finally take. We started walking in that particular direction. And that road is like the equivalent of our Mahatma Gandhi road. It never ends. It is on and on. So we started walking. Honestly, at one point of time, we thought we better give up and we turned back. But something happened. We said, no, let's keep on going. We have come so far. Let's walk so far. We came across a shop which was run by a Sardar, local Sardar over there. He was very happy to meet fellow Indians and he started talking. And I asked him this question, have you heard about this center? He says, I don't know about the center, but there is one mandir which I can say, which is further down. Why don't you walk? So we walked. Then we branched out. My friend took one side of the street. I took one side of the street so that we could find out if there is a nameplate of Mayor Baba somewhere. I didn't see the nameplate at all. But there was a sticker which was stuck on one of the bungalow's door, which was of Mayor Baba. And it says, Avatar Mayor Baba. So I saw that. I went in. I knocked at the door. This was at the basement level. Somebody answered from the porch level. And they opened the door. I was waiting over there. And that gentleman who runs the center came out, embraced me and said, I am waiting for you. Please step in. We were a bit dazed because we had never spoken to him. We had never announced our coming across. And suddenly this guy is opening the door and says, I was waiting for you. Welcome. It happened that there was a couple who had arrived from Hyderabad and who wanted to visit the center. They were 5 steps behind us. And this guy mistook us for them. And he embraced me thinking that it was me who had phoned him up. So anyway, all 4 of us went in. There was a Sunday meeting going on. So we were asked to sit below where the center is, where the mini museum of Baba is kept. So we had his sadra presented over there, his nails, his clipping nails, his hair, the books. So we spent some half an hour over there. And when the meeting ended over there, like it happens in the Bombay Center, 15 to 20 of them trooped down. One by one, they embraced each one of us. And then we started talking about Mayor Baba. And we shared our experiences. My friend who had accompanied me had never heard of Mayor Baba before, but he was also quite taken in. He had accompanied me on the promise that after visiting Mayor Baba Center, I accompany him and go to Hare Krishna Hare Radha's Mandir, which he had promised since a year. He had made a vow. He wanted to deposit some money. But when his wife was there for 1 full year with him, she had said, I don't want to go to mandirs, let's do sightseeing. So this had hurt him very badly. And he wanted to not break his vow and he wanted to deposit money. And he asked me if he and I would be joining hands and going to the temple. I said, fine, you accompanied me to the center. and this is a Sunday, I have nothing better to do. I accompany you now to this place, because after all, it is another avatar, nobody else. Now again, we walked back to the station, and from there again, we had to choose the road. So he phoned up his friend who had been to that place, and he gave him vague directions, and we started walking. Then we came to a bus stop, and we stood at the bus stop thinking that this bus would take us, because the friend had mentioned that bus number. What we failed to realize that that particular route bus did not work on Sundays. So we were standing at the bus stop, and there was an English gentleman who walked by with a smirk on his face, and he looked up. Then something triggered inside me. I looked up at the bus stop, and there was clearly written, "No bus on Sundays." So we were like stupid people standing over there at the bus stop waiting for a bus which would never come. So again, we started walking. We again came to a set of crossroads, and again we were fumbled where to go, which route to take. This is how Baba steps in at every point of time. It was a signal. We were waiting for a traffic break, and there came an Indian car, a couple, an Indian couple in a car, and who braked just next to us. So we said, let's ask this Indian couple where that mandir is. That guy looked at me, says, Parsi cho? I said, yes. So he was a Gujarati. He said, I am going to the same temple. Why don't you sit in the car? And we never had any troubles finding that place. He drove us right over there. Not only there, my friend had his darshan. He fulfilled his vow, and he was crying hysterically over there. And when I say hysterically, it was hysterically, because the weight of his 1 year came out, which he had promised, and he couldn't fulfill his promise. Not only that was fulfilled, since there was, we arrived at a time where they were serving lunch. We had a good lunch, also Indian lunch, after a long time over there. And then we were all happy, and we came out. Again, he helped us. It was a solid long walk from that temple to the bus, to the railway station. We got hold of another bus, which did not stop at the station, but it was driven by an Indian driver. He said, guys, you stand in front of the door. I will slow down the bus and open the door. You get down. We got down at the main gate of the station. We just had to cross in and buy our tickets. This is how Baba helped us in our quest. When we say, there's a saying, when you take one step forward, Baba takes 10 steps towards you. This is one example of how Baba takes multiple steps towards you to reach out to you. One more example which I can share. I was traveling from Germany to India, and I was watching a movie, and I always sit on the left side, on the A side, when I'm traveling from Germany to India, because you can see Mount Demavan when you are crossing Iran. And I like to watch that mountain when we cross over. So while we were crossing that mountain, I was thinking to myself, Baba, you came from Iran. How nice it would be, why don't you speak to me now? He didn't speak to me. But at that moment, I was watching the English movie called Fargo, which is about how an American helps escape trapped American citizens of the embassy during the Ayatollah regime when the revolution takes place. I was watching that movie, half interested, half not interested. And suddenly when I thought about, Baba, when can you talk to me? What flashes on the screen is Mehrabad International Airport. The airport, which is now named after Khomeini, in those days, in the Shah's duration, it was named as Mehrabad. This was how Baba again showed his presence. Mehrabad International Airport. After that, I rewound the movie, and I saw that scene multiple times to make sure that I was watching what I had watched, and it was not a figment of my imagination. This is how Baba steps in time and again, time and again. Now, I shall also share with you one sad. Can I go on? Is it okay?
Yeah, Neville. Yeah, Neville. We will.
Yeah. So, one more example of his presence Give me a minute. I have a photograph of it. This is during our Mussoorie trip, which we had been 3 years back. And from Mussoorie, we had landed at Dehradun. We spent evening over there so that we could catch the flight the next day and return to Mumbai. We had heard about the Dehradun Center also, so we decided why don't we spend our time at the Dehradun Center. So we found out our way to the Dehradun Center. We reached there in the afternoon. There was this lady caretaker who was taking care of the center, and it was absolutely peaceful, not a soul except for this lady. So she welcomed us. We started talking to her, and she said that time and again she could feel Baba's presence at night also whenever she was there, and the sign would be in the form of a symbol of a rose falling down from his frame. So typical, like gullible, we also waited if a rose could fall while we were there, so we could also feel Baba's presence. This is how the mind acts. It draws us to the false manifestations of Baba, but Baba, in all his sincerity and his love for us, demonstrates that love for all to us also. It did not happen in the form of a rose falling down, but it happened in the form of a presence. If you, there is a life-size statue of his, 5 feet 8 inches over there, which is Baba, right in the center. I will show you that. Can you see it?
Yes, Neville.
Yeah, this is the Baba's statue. As I was clicking photographs of Baba's statue and I was viewing from my viewfinder, this is what I noticed. Now, this is important. This is Baba's image coming across. I don't know if it would be visible. Just let me enlarge it. Can you see?
Yes, yes.
This is Baba's photograph, the image coming across on the shawl which he has been wearing, on the dress which he has been wearing. Again, showing us this is his presence. We immediately called the caretaker also, and she also looked, and we all then bowed down and performed the aarti, because this is how he manifested himself to bless us. His presence is felt everywhere. We need to realize it. And time and again, we fail to realize it, all of us. I have one more experience, which is a sad experience, where my dad had expired. I was at Delhi at that point of time, and this was a Monday when he had expired, Monday 11th, 10th of March 2008. And 9th of March was a Sunday, and I had a brief fight with him that you are not taking care of your health anymore. And he very dispassionately told me, Neville, this is a body made of skin and bones. Why should we be afraid of it? If that comes, that comes. And on Monday, I was traveling to Delhi. At 5 in the morning, I was leaving for my flight. He came out. He kissed me. He always used to embrace me. His principle was two adult males never kiss each other. They embrace each other. But all of a sudden, he kissed me on my right cheek. And then he said, Neville, don't be afraid. Take care of yourself. Pay attention to your work. Nothing is going to happen to me. I'm all right. So I left. As my routine, I normally phone up from any outstation twice a day after landing, during lunchtime, and during dinner. That day, my mom had a bit of high blood pressure. So I had asked the doctor to come and see her. So the doctor had come, checked her BP, prescribed some medicines, and casually also told her, why don't you check my dad also? So she checked him also and told me he's as strong as an ox. His heart is very good. Not realizing that after a few hours, his heart would fail. After dinner, I phoned him up. We all spoke. And as customary, one by one, they came on the line and we all spoke. And then I was at my guest house watching the TV. I was at unease. I was flipping through the channels, which normally I don't. I stick to one channel which gives me pleasure in watching. But here I was sticking to a channel, flipping through channels. And in one of the channels, there is a scene where a son stands in front of his dad's framed photograph and is talking to his dad, saying that, "Dad, why did you leave me all of a sudden?" I don't know what happened. Something triggered in me. I rang up my house again. My wife, Jasmine, came on the line. I said, "Jasmine, I want to speak to Dad." She said that he has gone to the toilet. Just hold on. Then she told me, "Neville, I hear a sound falling inside the toilet. Hold on." I said, "No problem." She rushed in, again came back on the phone, said that Dad has fallen and is unconscious. I immediately put my phone down. I asked her to call the neighbors and ring up the doctor. She again called me up saying that doesn't look like he's breathing. Then it was confirmed that he was dead. He had dropped dead while walking. No pain, nothing. It was he informing me right at Delhi, 1,000 kilometers away, that I'm going. And that triggered a thought in me, and that made me speak to him, which I couldn't. That's okay. I came to the airport the next day. In the next morning, I took the first flight because there was nothing available because it was past 10 o'clock. I reached Dungarwadi. I paid my last obsessions to my dad. And during the Saroshnu Patru, which happens at 7 o'clock in the evening, I fell asleep. I fell asleep in the midst of the prayers, and there Baba gave a vision. It was my dad is standing over there in a sadra and lega with a very frightened looking face. I am trying to reach out to him. I cannot reach out to him. I am not able to speak to him. He's afraid. He is pointing out to a direction where there are very thick clouds around. From that cloud comes a burst of light and a person walking. This is my dream. There's a person who is walking down. As he comes nearer and nearer and is clear, my dad's face starts brightening up. He combs his head. He had a penchant for passing his fingers to his hair, and his hair was so silky, not like mine. I don't have now. So he could arrange his hair while just sweeping his fingers to his hair. And then he's smiling. He has that beam on his face. And when the face comes closer, it is Meher Baba's face. There was this Meher Baba's portrait at my kitchen where Dad used to put his hand on the frame and pray before retiring to bed, with a mustache and long hair. The same visage comes in front of us. There, Baba stands in front of him, smiles at me and him, takes his arm in his arm. Both of them look at me, smile at me, and then they turn and disappear into the cloud bank. That was the end of the dream. And I woke up with a start because my dad's name was called out by the priest during the prayers. At that point of time, I realized Baba had come to take him. I told this to my wife and my daughter. We stopped crying after that. Yeah, we were still in tears, but that sobbing stopped. I told my mother also. She was hysterical at one point of time. She also quietened down a lot. This was Baba telling us he has been taken by him personally. Nothing to worry about. These were my experiences. Now I'll request Karishma to talk about.
One sec.
Yeah, sure.
One question before I ask Jasmine to come over for a while. Did your parents kind of follow Baba?
Subsequently, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Deep followers of Baba. My in-laws and my parents too.
Okay. So for
all were dragged into his net.
Your in-laws, I'm asking Jasmine now.
Yeah.
And then if we have time, you come back again.
Yes.
Time permitting.
Yeah. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Thank you. Hi, Jess.
Jai Baba, everybody.
Jai Baba. Happy to see you.
Thank you very much.
Neville tells us that you're not a Baba lover when you took Neville to Nariman's house, Menos's house.
I was knowing
Okay,
about
go ahead.
Baba.
Go ahead.
I knew about Baba since childhood actually, but I didn't follow with my true heart that this is somebody avatar and all that, because when I was small, uh, with my parents, I am in my wooden cupboard. There was one picture of Baba, and always my mother used to tell me, "This is Baba," and we used to bow down our head and just say, "Okay, Karina." But that time it was a picture of black and white picture in that wooden cupboard, and it was the Samadhi picture, the picture which is there in the Baba's Samadhi, black and white picture. I still remember, and bus. That's all, and we all believed as if it's God, bus, nothing else, not too much into it. And we knew a little bit through Parinanti, Naju uncle, Menosh. They used to go there very often. And my mummy's mother was a devout follower of Sai Baba. In our avastha, a natural kunku used to come, natural. And my granny used to go with Parinanti to Baba center whenever she visited Bombay with her, and she used to get the little sweets from there for us, and we used to take as prasad and say thank you God. That much only till there. Then when I was pregnant, I used to read certain books which Parinanti had given me to read. Nan Umriga's book also I had read during, from her only I had read it, and fine. But then during my pregnancy time, I had little bit complications first. Doctor said take bed rest and all that. So during that bed rest, I was reading these books when Karishma was there. And I, uh, due to my due date was on, and then doctor said we will have to induce the pain and all that. So doctor said, okay, you better come tomorrow, and then they induced the pain, and the child was born during this evening time, and afterwards the complications started, and there was blood hemorrhage inside, and it was like the blood was it was not stopping, and doctor said please give signature, she may die. So my brother-in-law, my husband, we all ran for blood around in different hospitals, and somehow I was saved. Blood came on time, and when after so many hours, when doctor said she's okay, and then they shifted me to ICU, but parents didn't believe that I am there or not there. But when I said, "Mommy, give my specs to me back," so she said, "We heard you saying something, and we believe that you are alive." And then too many complications were there in ICU. I was there in ICU for many days. But then when I was shifted to my normal room in Parsi General, then doctor said, I want to speak to this child and her husband. I don't want anybody inside. So my parents and family said, okay. And then doctor told us, holding our hands together, he said, see, in my lifetime, I have operated many. But when I was working with you after your delivery, after your child was born, I felt somebody's presence inside. If you are believing in God, fine. If you are not believing in God, start believing from today. I was really grateful that Baba had saved me. As it said that a child gives birth to a mother, and really it was my second janam. From that day onwards, whatever I am today, I am because of Baba. My ancestors, my parents, my in-laws, they all had prayed for me. My friends, many people had donated blood during, they had to replace blood. On the spot, we got blood, we had to buy blood. And then many friends, relatives, they all came to donate blood. I'm really grateful to those people also today. Whatever I am today is because of Baba. And now whatever life is there, I will live for Baba.
Ya Khuda.
Now let Karishma speak, because Karishma will also enlighten you with many stories. And during that time, Baba, after that, when I was sick with malaria, and I was all alone in my room, Baba had given me a vision that he is carrying me in his sadra and he's walking from darkness to light. And I was Bebhan in his hands. And he showed me a vision that now you are okay, you are fine. Take it out from your mind that you are not well, or because there were many complications after her birth also. But with God's grace, I am fine today. Thank you, Baba, for everything. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Let's Karishma take over.
Very happy you came on the screen. Yes.
No. And normally I don't speak because I can't speak. There are no words for Baba. And last, I will only say that everything is okay. Only God is real. Everything is a motion picture. Everything will go away. Dukh, sukh, everything. Baba is there 24/7 with you. If you are alive, if you are dead also, he is there to guide your soul. So don't worry about death now. Thank you, Baba, for everything.
I call Baba constant.
Constant companion, yeah.
In the sense, just as you said, people come and people go in our lives. People get upset with you. You get upset with people. But with Baba, it's just one constant. You never get upset with him. He's ever there for you. Absolutely. You just said it. You just said it.
24/7, Baba's presence is always there. Thank you. Jai Baba to everybody. And I thank Bombay Center to giving us this opportunity to speak for Baba. Thank you, Baba.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
May I just interrupt for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
May I call this lady back, please?
Jasmine.
Please, Jasmine.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, what makes you think that you spoke?
I didn't speak. Baba made me spoke today, because
That's
earlier
it.
at Mehrabad also,
You silly
people
girl,
had
that is
gathered
what
me.
it is.
People
Okay.
had
That is
gathered
number
me.
one. Bas. Badare nahi joye. That's number one.
Baba spoke.
Yeah. And number two, you stirred my soul. You really did.
I didn't do. Baba did it.
Whatever.
Jai Baba.
And now, for having done all this masti, please, either your husband or your daughter should give you a glass of water. Take Baba's name and have that glass of water.
Thank you.
Thank
Jai
you.
Baba.
Jai Baba.
Thank you. Baba will give me energy through that water. Thank you, Samankal.
Yes,
Thank
Baba.
you.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Okay, Karishma.
Hello, Jai Baba.
Yes, Jai Baba.
So, as my mother told the story, it was actually Jimmy uncle told me to tell that story, but I think Baba wanted her to tell the story. Usually, when people ask how I was born, my mother tells my father, "Ke you say the story," or my mother tells me, "Ke you tell the story," because I won't be able to narrate the entire thing without crying. So I think Baba wanted her to tell the story. So that's how the story is there. But let me tell you, my dad's side, they were huge believers in Haji Malang Baba.
Wow.
Yes, not believers of Meher Baba, but believers of Haji Malang Baba. So there was a spiritual link through Haji Malang Baba. And my mother's side, as my mother mentioned, they were huge believers of Sai Baba. So there was a spiritual link between both these families, but none of them believed in Meher Baba. Even after seeing their photo or having sweets from the center, they did not believe until I was born. So after my parents got married, um my mother and my father used to visit a guru. They used to visit a guru, and after my birth, when the entire thing had passed, and after 40 days, my mother, father, and they took me as well to that guru, and just to thank him for my birth and for keeping my mother safe. So the guru said that you don't have to thank me, but you have to thank five people who were essential in her birth and your second life. So he mentioned Sai Baba's name, he mentioned Haji Malang Baba's name, two more Muslim peers he mentioned, Mira Datar Sahib and Muhammad Shah Ibrahim Baba. And the fifth one he mentioned was Meher Baba. And after this, my parents started believing in Meher Baba. Coming to how I got my name, usually my parents were supposed to keep my name from the 101 names of God, any one name. And my Rashi was Ka. In Parsis, they believe in Rashi. But that guru said that no 101 name for you. In Islam, they say Khuda ka Karishma. So let's keep her name Karishma. And I have read that Baba says he doesn't create miracles, which is also true. But that day in the hospital, he had created a huge miracle for my parents and my grandparents and everyone in my family. So that's how I got my name as Karishma. And throughout my life, there have been instances where I really feel that Baba is performing miracles. Like once, when I was barely a year old, my mother had got malaria and she was alone in the house. And I was crawling or something, but I swallowed a this long pill. I just swallowed it. It was called Laria Go, and I went unconscious, and my parents were scared. They had to call the doctor. I wasn't responding at all. They were scared. They were scared to death. And the doctor said, let us give her 24 hours and then let's see what, or we'll have to admit her to the hospital. So till the 24th hour, I wasn't responding. And my parents were like, now let's take her. And after 24 hours of being unconscious, I just got up and started crying because I was hungry, apparently. So that is one experience. Like small experiences. Like when we had been to Dehradun, I actually got Dehradun Baba Center address from Perin Aunty, Mennosh's mother only. So we had been there, and my father showed the Baba's face appearing on the coat. So we were very happy. Then the lady, the caretaker, took us outside as well. And there was this tree with a huge bark, and I saw I saw it was almost evening, so it was dark, and I told her, 1 second, you can even see Baba's face here. It's like, what? And we could see Baba's face in there. So I have that photo. I took it with. Can you see Baba's face? His long nose and mustache can be seen clearly. It's a side face of Baba. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, okay, side pose.
Yeah, it's a side face where you can see his eyes, his nose, and his mustache.
Okay.
So, and this is not the first time where I've seen his face. I once saw his face on my bedroom, on my bed ka chaddar also. I once saw his face there. Then I once saw his face in the sky when I was in Mehrabad. So I've seen Baba's face. That is how he shows his presence to me. Like how my dad said, we try to find him in butterflies and all. I find Baba's presence the way he shows me his face. 2018 was a very powerful year for me. Up till then, we were all Baba lovers, but I think I had taken Baba's grace for granted because I used to always say, I am Baba's child, Baba got me here. And up till 2018, everything in my life was very smooth, you know. If I want to get good marks, I'll be like, Baba, marks api lejo. Baba grade, first awards, second awards, competition che, Baba let me. And everything he used to fulfill. Not once have I ever had to beg him for anything. Whatever I want and I tell him, I used to get it. But 2017, I felt like I was taking him for granted, but I'm like, I don't want to admit it. So in 2017, I had been to Mehrabad, and Pari and her mother were also visiting. And Pari told me about Mehrabad Young Adult Sahahvas. And she told me, you have to go there. So I said, I don't think my father will allow 7 days. Like we usually visit Mehrabad for 3 to 4, max 5 days. So 7 days, I don't think my father will. And I was in TY then. I'm like, no, my father is strict. I don't think he'll allow. So she said, just give it a try. And I went home and I didn't say anything regarding the Savas. But, oh, sorry. Before going home, the last day, leaving Mehrabad, I told him, see, I'm not going to wish for anything today, but I just want to be there in the Savas next year. And I want my father to allow me. So make sure you do that. And then I just left. I left. I didn't talk to my father because I didn't have the guts to tell him, "Ke 7 days you send me to Mehrabad alone." So I didn't talk, and the forms were out in April. I saw the form, I filled it, and before submitting, I exited. And my SYBCom exams were going on that time. And I said, if I ask him today, he'll tell me tomorrow is your paper. Are you mad? So I said, let me take a chance. And I told him, okay, Daddy, I have studied for more than 6 hours. I want to take a break. And there is this Sahahvas form which is out. And I want to fill it and I want to go. So my father said, Ketla divas, in very rude tone. He's like, Ketla divas. And I said, Daddy, 7 days. He's like, 7 days. In TY you want to attend Sahahvas. So I said, my parents are, very strict when it comes to academics. I said, Daddy, please, Jawad, please let me go. So he's like, fine. He didn't negotiate. He said nothing. He said, fine. And that time he didn't even know about my traveling, like how I would travel and all. He just said, fine. He didn't even ask how I would travel or where I would stay. Nothing he asked. He just said, fine, go. And I filled the form, fatafat. Before he changed his mind, I filled the form. And I went to the Sahahvas. That year actually was very powerful for me in terms of spirituality because in January, I had been to the Golden Temple. And as a tourist, I had been there. I had gone to Amritsar with my parents. As a tourist, I said, let's see the Golden Temple. And we even took darshan inside the Golden Temples. When I go to any temple or anywhere, I have this habit since I've been brought up that way. I always say I'm Baba. Like even if it's Shivji or anyone, I say Baba. There's only one name because there's only one God, so it doesn't matter. So I said thank you, Baba. In your where you brought me till here, so I said thank you. I didn't wish for anything, and I was very light-headed, and I got out. After I got out, usually when I'm at the Samadhi, when I take darshan, I cry. But when I go to Atash Beram or anywhere else, I don't cry. I just, like how normally people take darshan and get out, that is how I am. But after getting out, I just started crying. So I sat there with the other people and I just started crying. I didn't even know the reason why. And I didn't even question, as in I didn't ask Baba, why are you making me cry today? I didn't even ask that. But after crying, I felt very lightheaded. Then that happened in January. Then I went to Sahahvas in July. That was a very great experience. After that, I stopped asking Baba for anything, even if it's a life and death situation or anything. If even if my family member is serious, I would never ask him to save someone. I will always say, "Tamari je marji chhe te thase. Whatever you do will be the best." Because those 7 days, every time I used to go to the samadhi, every time I used to read that thing, whatever the master does will be the best for everyone, were written by Hafiz. So I never, I don't know, something in me told me to not ask for anything. So I never asked. From the day my Savas ended, I never asked Baba for anything. If and after 10 days and after 7 days, I stayed for 3 more days and my father agreed to it. Then that was in sorry, the Savas was in June, end of June, July starting. And I was again supposed to come back for Silence Day, which was my first Silence Day. I had never been to Merabar on Silence Day either. So I said, my parents were supposed to go with the Bombay Center. I said, Daddy, I also want to go. After the Savas had ended, I told him, I also want to go. My father is like, you have bunked 10 days of classes. You want to bunk 4 more? I said, please try and understand. I just want to go. And I had not even wished to Baba that let me come again. I had not even said that. My father agreed. I again went for Silence Day. It was my first Silence Day. And I got to volunteer at the Jhopdi itself for 3 hours. So, and it was so crowded that people were just used to come in and come out fast. And the roses were piling up. So the other volunteer is telling me to go in. She's not telling me, she's gesturing, go in and put the roses down so that Baba's photo can be seen. So I went and did that. And I'm like, wow, I went again. That was the second time I went in. After that, 10 times I went in. I kept counting because I wanted to see if Baba is just keeping me. He's telling me to come in, and people are standing in a huge line. And he's just telling me, come in, put the roses down. And that was another experience. Then in August, my grandmother, my mother's mother, she wanted to go to Shirdi since a very long time. Last I think I had been to Shirdi was when I was 5 or 6 years old. Post that, we've never been to Shirdi. So my grandmother really wanted to go. So we all made a trip to Shirdi. And we went for the midnight aarti because my grandmother wanted to go there. And I felt the same, when the aarti goes on and sometimes you get goosebumps. I felt the same thing in the aarti. So I'm like, hey, Baba, what is this? What year is this? Why are you making me just cry and cry? That whole year, wherever I've been to any religious place, I've just cried. That whole year, whenever I've been to the samadhi, I've cried. So after all of these experiences, usually I'm very, how they say, na chanchal man, I'm like that, but I had quite silence down. And whenever I want to talk to Baba, I tell him, give me a signal that you're here. Tell me you're here. Because in order to talk to Baba, you need to silence your mind, and I had not silenced my mind till then. But after the Shirdi trip, my mind was very silent and I could hear. I didn't have to tell Baba, are you here? Are you going to talk to me? I could just, and something kept flowing. So I started to pen it down. And I just tried to pen it down, and poems started to flow without my understanding, because I am I don't like literature that much. I cannot rhyme words at all. And poems just started to flow. And I'm like, what is happening? Baba, what is this? And after reading them, I made my father read it. My father's like, did you write it? I'm like, I have no idea. I just started to pen down whatever was going on, and they just flowed through in words that could rhyme. I'm like, this is a poem. And but those were in English, because mainly if I talk to Baba, it's either in Gujarati or in English. But in 2020, when the pandemic happened and we were all locked in, I could hear it in Hindi. Like, why is Baba talking to me in Hindi? I don't understand. And it was the first time he made me write a poem in Hindi also. And Hindi is not my strong language. But the moment it came out, and with the spellings, it was perfect. It was perfect grammar. I couldn't comprehend how it happened, but it just happened. So it's just that even if you are in Baba's fold since childhood, if the understanding and the awakening doesn't come from the heart, you will never realize that he's present 24/7. And sometimes, even when I don't realize it, there have been instances where I'm talking to Baba and suddenly he just shows me his presence. Like, my phone pops up a message of Baba, or sometimes I'm thinking about something. Um, as a teenager, my college, I've seen many people do drugs, and I have never done drugs. So, but I saw many people doing drugs. So I had a thought. I just had a thought. Hey, what is this powder? How does it taste? How do they do it? I just had this thought, and my parents and I, it was a Saturday evening, so we were going to a Baba reading. Um, so there was this one story of Baba where it was a conversation between Meher Baba and Donkin. So Donkin had just come from the west, and the storyteller was just keep saying the story, and I was in my own thought because I'd just come from college and I was thinking about the drugs. So I was in that thought, but I was not listening to the story. I was hearing it. And suddenly, the lady who was saying the story raised her voice as if to get my attention. And she said, and then Baba had an angry face and he told Donkin, you will never think of doing drugs. And then this she said very loudly, as if to tell me that you're not going to do it anytime. So for me, it was something like that. Baba told me to never do drugs. That is it. That is a question. My parents have not. Had my parents told me, I would have still thought about it. But once Baba told me, it's a no, no, never, ever. Because the lady just shouted as if to get my attention, and then in a very normal voice, she even explained, like she even told, okay, why Baba said no. So Baba said that your nervous system will get affected and everything. But the baseline of the story was Baba telling me, don't you touch drugs. So that was it. After that, I've never got any thought regarding it. But this is just how he catches my thoughts. So this is just to show that his presence is everywhere. Although we know he's present, but sometimes just to show us he'll be there. Like sometimes when my father is reading to me and my mummy a book, and sometimes a butterfly just comes in from the window, and my mother will be like, jo Baba aaya, look, Baba is here. So little presences that make up our life always. So that's very nice.
Yeah, Karishma, you talked about taking Baba for granted. Let me tell you, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. We all took Baba for granted. We all took Merabat for granted. And he has to show his way that, look, I'm not that cheap. You don't take me for granted. So today, what he's trying to do is he's creating that craving within all of us, that when we will ever go to Merabat. So the moral of the story is we don't take him for granted. Yeah,
Yes.
within us 24/7, absolutely. But we have to I use this wrong word all the time. We have to lust for him. You get me? We have to
Yes,
lust for
indeed.
Baba kare bolao, Baba kare bolao. Kare bolao jabe ghanu thai gyo. Okay, can I ask Neville to come again?
Yes, sure.
You want to say something?
Once.
You want to say something?
Thank you, Jai Baba.
Jai
I,
Baba.
I would like to just say one sentence.
Yes.
You know, we people in Baba family, we think we are all very nice, this, that. But sometimes some kids are great big luchis. And this Karishma is one of them. A great big luchi. And we all love her for that. Jai Baba.
Thank you, Jai Baba.
Thank you, Karishma. Thank you.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. No, go ahead. Maybe another 10 minutes. Maybe another 10 minutes. Go ahead. Tell us something more about your life with Baba, your conviction with Baba, whatever. Whatever comes to your heart, tell us.
So we met the first time at Mehrabad. I normally go to Mehrabad with the Katrak family group, and I had met you there, and you were talking about Baba after dinner, and I somehow managed to wriggle myself into that group of yours without anybody realizing that I had slipped in. And you were talking a lot about Baba, and I was wondering.
1 second, Neville. 1 second. What is that group? There is no group.
Yeah. Okay, fine. My mistake. My mistake. No, it's one family of Baba. In the bus lot of which you bring, and in the bus lot in which I came, with whom Baba brought us together. So that was the first instance, and I was impressed. And I won't say with the knowledge, because knowledge can be through reading, but I was impressed with the depth. And that depth of Baba can only come with his grace, not through reading. Nobody can read about Baba and pretend to be knowledgeable about Baba. It's only when the grace starts flowing through, his grace starts flowing through us, through a medium, that happens. And I was lucky enough and I'm privileged enough to be in company of those who have that grace of Baba on them, through whom we hear about Baba constantly. I can also share one more example of how I speak about Baba to my team members also. And they don't believe in Baba yet at the way Baba should be. But now, if anything goes wrong, and if I say, don't, let's wait, they say, Baba bolte hai kya? At least now to that, they have come to that level, Baba bolte hai kya? And I say, yes, Baba stops me from doing something. And it may be an innocuous file which is being sent, and I'll share that example of a file which was a very important file, and my team and I were struggling till close to midnight, and every time we wanted to send that Excel file which was loaded with very confidential data, it would not go. I would click on the button and it would just refuse to leave my inbox and move into the outbox and then move. So time and again we did it, and I was like, Baba, what is happening? Everybody, my colleague stays at Badlapur. He has to reach Badlapur. It takes him 2.5 hours. I stay at Dadar. From Prabhadevi to Dadar doesn't take much time, but Badlapur, for his sake at least, the file refused to move. And we reopened the file, redid the calculations. Everything was perfect. I was getting frustrated. My colleague was getting doubly frustrated. But somehow I just couldn't click, and I told him, no, we will not click. We will again look into the file. Finally, after I don't know how many attempts, we saw the mistake what was there, which could have portrayed a completely incorrect picture of the country India. My company, country India. Somebody had deleted certain rows. So the formula had got cut off. So whatever data was being inputted was not captured in the formula, and the sum total was coming out wrongly. This was the extent to which Baba helps us out. We made the corrections, and then the next click and the file went. And it just stopped. I have one more experience when my mother had to undergo 5 major operations in 2004. 2003 end and 2004. We stayed for 42 days at Parsi General, a multitude of operations, one after another. And on 31st of December 2003, my consulting surgeon had told me that, Neville, nothing can be done about her. These 24 hours are critical. If she moves out, it comes through, there is a chance. Otherwise, we don't have a chance. So everybody, even in the hospital, was celebrating 31st December, wishing everybody Happy New Year. And I was sitting sadly outside her room, not knowing whether January 1st, 2004 would bring in cheer or would bring her death for me. I was very sad. And I was dozing off. And Parsi General has those bat wings doors. I saw suddenly somebody around 2:33. I don't remember the exact time now. But during that time frame, I saw somebody moving in a white smock. So I thought it was a nurse who went in. So I immediately went after her. There was nobody in the room. In hindsight, it was Baba in that white sadra office, that smock which we look at. He would have gone in. My mother always kept his photograph below her pillow, even in the hospital. Then I realized it was Baba. Morning 5 o'clock, the doctors, the surgeon's assistant comes in, checks her parameter and says, Neville, she started moving. She started turning around. It was nobody but Baba who turned her around. Because if till 2 in the morning, there is nothing, and between 2:30 and 3, somebody walks in, and if I could sense that, and then my mother starts recovering, it was only Baba. There's nothing which can be done without him. There's everything which can be done with him. All it takes is his grace, his nazar on all of us. We all know that, we all read about it. But when it hits us, we tend to forget about it. I tend to forget about it a lot of times. And then suddenly I remember, those were the days when Baba was the nearest to us. How can I now forget the days when everything gets smooth going? How can we forget him during those days? This is what I just wanted to share. If I have committed any mistakes, it's entirely due to my ignorance. But it was Baba who made me speak, and thank you for a patient listening.
Yeah.
And thanks to my wife and to my daughter also for their major contributions to this story, and to Baba and to me. Jai Baba.
Yeah. Does Jasmine and Karishma want to say anything beyond? Maybe even one-liner?
Yeah, here comes my wife. She always has the last word with me.
Yeah, Jess, tell us.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Bombay Center, Jimmy Uncle, Sam Uncle, and thank you, Baba, for everything. I will only say one thing, that Baba's prayers always say, okay, hold on to my daman. And whatever time is it, even Baba lovers sometimes say, okay, what is God doing? Hold Baba's daman with 2 hands. Even if one hand slips, hold the other hand tight. So he will save you from everything. Jai Baba.
Jess, I especially want to thank you more than Karishma and Neville, because you plucked up the guts to come before us and tell us your story firsthand. So I truly, truly thank you.
Jai Baba. Baba made me speak today. At least I opened my mouth today properly. But without tears, I can't speak still.
It's okay.
It's Baba always. Thank you.
Yes,
Jai
I am
Baba.
a man. I'm a man, but I also break down. It's our emotions. It's okay. It's perfectly all right. We are humans. We are not made of wax. We are humans. It's okay to cry. Absolutely.
But over here, everybody, I will just give one message, that please hold on to Baba's daman very tight. in your sorrow or in your happiness, don't forget him. Keep him first, and he will be the last one or the first one to help you out with all your doubts, situations, whatever your problems are. In happiness also and in sadness also, please hold on to Baba's Dham. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba. You know, we have started remembering him more in our happiness.
Yeah,
It will not be true with the others, but
yeah,
with Baba lovers, we do remember him
yeah,
more and more in our happy days.
yeah,
It is so true. It is very true.
yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you for everything. Jai Baba.
Does Karishma want to say a sentence or two?
Karishma.
I would just like to say that this is from my experience, and I've realized that uh, Baba may bring you up to his samadhi, maybe even inside his samadhi, but until you silence your mind and accept it, and when there's a true calling, only then you will hear what he speaks. Until then, you can always say that I believe in Baba or I'm a Baba lover. But for me, when I learn to listen to him and not just look out if he's here or if he's there, when I truly learn to listen to him, I have seen a massive change in myself and how I deal with situations as well. I don't ask if the situation will go better or not. I just say, you do what you want to do, and even if it's bad, you are there, so it's okay. As long as Baba is there in any situation, the situation will be good. I don't want a very good situation without Baba in it. So I just hope and pray that he's there with me always. That's it. Any situation you put me through, I want Baba there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Jai Mer Baba, Neville, Jasmine, Karishma, all three of you, you made our day. You made it a great success. Jai Mer Baba. Thank you.
Jai Baba, everybody.
Thank you, Neville. Thank you, Jess.
Jai Baba.
Yeah, Sam, you can take over.
Jai Baba.
What is there to take over now? Everything has been taken over. Heart, soul, everything. If I've ever seen a lady with a pure heart, it's Karishma's mom. The way she speaks so truthfully, and her eyes all brighten up. Just the sheer mention of Baba's name and she brightens up. I really feel that Baba used to have this sign for people like us, people like her. And the sign was, she's a gem. She is a gem. So not that bread, butter and jam, it's a GEM, a jewel, so she is a jewel. And next Thursday, I've got someone from America, in fact, very close to our Myrtle Beach Center. He also happens to be from Menos Mehta's lineage, in the sense he is Apra. Who was that Mehta of Barjor Mehta's son who settled there? He will be joining us to speak about that Baba's picture, and the what is that picture called? That Mushkil Asan pose. Remember that there's a picture? So he will be all these things. So I hope you all join in great numbers and enjoy. Today's was a wonderful evening. I have nobody to thank except for him. And it is him who is residing in all these monkeys who are looking at me. So I bow down to him residing in all of your hearts, because that is what connects us and keeps us together. May we all, like this lady mentioned, cling on to his daman with both our hands. It's a very slippery daman, believe you me. So let us try and cling on to it, and with his wish and will, we will win this race called life. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. Anybody wants to say anything? Hello? I couldn't have said something so profound that everybody muted.
Yeah, some talking about Daman. Every time we talk about Daman, and Karishma said, hold with both hands. So if one slips, the other is there. Every time the term Daman comes, I think of Madhusudan and nobody else. He was so close to Baba that his marriage was performed in Baba's presence. Baba told them to exchange garlands at Guru Prasad in front of him, and Baba said, okay, now you sing a song. Immediately after this exchange of garlands. And Madhusudan was away from Baba for 15 years. If that can happen to Madhusudan, I don't know. I don't know what. I'm really petrified. Truly scared. Truly scared.
No.
Truly scared.
Jimmy, Madhusudan was great in his own way, but even this idiot had drifted off from Baba's fold for a long time. Maybe 10, 12 years. Yes, I did.
Even Bhikkhu told this story last Thursday.
See?
Bhikkhu. Even Bhikkhu told this story last Thursday.
Yes. So there are many monkeys like us, you know.
Very slippery.
Yeah. See that
Once when I asked this question very seriously to Baba, asking him, why did I miss out on that period where Jimmy Khan kept running to Guru Prasad and all that? And the answer I got was, perhaps you would not have contained your ego. You would have gone berserk trying to tell everybody I did this during Baba's time, and Baba said this to me and that to me and da. And to keep that bottled up, perhaps he just sent me away. And then Khan Chimatke, he brought me back when the time was due, and that's how the things happen.
Yeah. Sam, that's what I tell people when they ask me, what does it mean to hold on to his daman? I said, for me, I'm holding on to his daman by skin of my teeth, and I have all false teeth.
Wow.
It's not easy.
But with his will, it's possible.
Everything is possible.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
The minute he decides to drive you away, nothing in this world will leave you sticking on. You'll just drop like a hot potato.
Right. Dolly auntie always used to tell me, it's not your choice to come into his fold. He has to accept you.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Unfortunately,
he says, you're very lucky. You guys are all very lucky because he has accepted all of you. So.
Unfortunately, there is, or should I squeeze in a beautiful story which comes to my mind? If that's okay, Jamsetji.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is about darshan program in Madras. People were filing past, taking Baba's darshan and going. And there was this non-conspicuous looking Madrasi gentleman with a lungi and simple. He bowed down and he was pushed away and he was walking ahead. And Baba told Eras to call him again. So the man was called. He stood before Baba with his folded hands, and Baba just blessed him and he said, I know you and I love you very much. So that fellow, in his own way, said, thank you very much, kind of thing. And he went away. Next morning, at about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, Meher Baba, wherever they were staying, he was in a great hurry and asked Eraj to get into a car and go for a drive. So Eraj was wondering, he said to himself, suddenly, why this urge of going for a drive? So Eraj asked Baba, where should we go? He said, you just keep driving. So he went around, and there is a thing like Marina Beach, it's called, I think. And Eraj felt that maybe Baba wants to take a ride near the seafront and everything. After they pass through there, Baba takes over. He says, now go left, now go right, now this, now that. And Eraj said, we got into such narrow lanes that I could barely move my car ahead. And suddenly at one spot, he says, stop the car. So he stopped the car. Both of them, just the two of them were there. They get out. Baba quickly climbs up the steps, and there is the door. Baba tells Eraj, knock at the door. Eraj knocks. There's no response. Baba tells him, knock hard. Eraj knocks very hard, yet no response. Then Baba tells Eraj, let's just break open the latch. So, and Eraj was very strong those days. He just pushed and the latch opens up. And Eraj describes that room. It was just a room. There was no furniture except for a chair. Just one solitary chair, which was kept at an end of the photographs of all the avatars known to us, starting from Zoroaster to all the avatars that were known. And at the end of the last picture of the avatar, there was this chair. And next to the chair was this guy whom Baba had seen yesterday. He was in deep meditation, such deep meditation that this knocking of the door and people getting in and everything just wouldn't wake him up. He was so deeply engrossed in his meditation. Finally, Baba puts his hand on that fellow's head, and slowly that guy opens his eyes. And Baba says, I'm very happy and pleased to be with you. I want to grant you a boon. Just say what you want. So that fellow, again with his folded hands, he says, Baba, Baba,
He
mujhe...
asked Baba to sit in that chair because that was his heart's desire every
Correct, Pari. Take
morning.
over, Pari, go on. Yeah.
Every morning, this man would go to that room without the knowledge of his family, and he would sit in meditation and he would request all the avatars that I want to see God in human form, so please grant me that wish. If you all are happy with me and my love and devotion towards y'all. And that is why Baba went to that room and Baba said, I have come to grant you your wish. And Baba sat in that chair that was kept specifically for the avatar.
And then what was the boon that he asked for?
Just that it was his heart's desire that
Nahin, Pari, then Baba asked him, he said, I'm very pleased with you. I'll grant you a boon. Ask for what you want. And that man just folded hands and he said, I want eternal peace. And Baba laughed and he said, ask for something else. He says, no, I just want eternal peace. Third time, again he said, I want eternal peace. Baba touched his head again, and that fellow just passed away. And Baba quickly told Eras, let's leave and get out from here before all the hullabaloo starts. And they came out. So this is the story where he finds you and he keeps you. This is how it works. Avar Meher Baba ki jai.
Sam uncle, sorry to
Hey.
interrupt. Can we do the aarti? It's 7 o'clock. Can we do the aarti?
Yes, sure. Who wants to do it? Go ahead. Is there a child somewhere? Some small kid? Okay, let's have Karishma do the aarti. Come on, today. Chal, Karishma, go ahead. Just one aarti, okay? Unmute yourself, darling.
I don't know how to do it in Hindi.
Do it in whichever. If you like in French, it is okay with us. Doesn't matter.
Okay. I'll start with O Parvardegar.
Aarti, not prayer. Just
Oh,
aarti.
I can't sing. Sorry.
No, just recite.
मम्मी ने करवा दो जो है तो
Mummy aarti kar so. My mother.
Either Buzave or Glorious. Come on,
Yes.
don't make so much fuss and waste time.
Glorious, we can do
Come on.
it. We are not good singers, so if your ears bleed,
Shut
it's
up and
okay.
start.
Because we are singing for Baba, not you.
Correct. Chalo.
Oh, glorious, eternal, ancient one, your face is a bright, transcendental sun. Light in this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart, meher, I give to you to keep. Creator, yet creationless you are. Truth and truth's body, divine avatar. Who through compassion the three worlds maintains. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. Five lights are the whirling spokes of breath of the world's wheel that bears me on to death. Unless you who are infinitely kind break the wheel's hub which is conditioned mind. This incense is my love, these fruits my art, which to please you I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining art. You are myself, I sing to you in praise.
I beg your love to bear me through the days.
Till you, the ever-living perfect one, illume my darkness with your shining sun. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Avatar
Meher
Meher
Baba
Baba
ki
ki
jai.
jai. Avatar
Meher
Meher
Baba
Baba
ki
ki jai.
Jai Baba, everybody. Thank you. And see you all next Thursday without fail. Jamwa Chalo ji.
Look at Baba. I don't like to sing in public. He made me sing in public.